Hi, this is a video response to Eric's Reloaded about the problem that his friend had with her teenage son. I can really relate to that. I had 5 children and yeah, there was a few problems associated with them when they became teenagers. The first thing I really want to say though is the most important thing is that she loves her children regardless of what happens. There comes a stage in a child's life where they believe everything that they need to do, they have to do, and that they are always right. And we as parents also believe that we're doing the right thing. But sometimes it might not be right. It's a tricky situation. My daughter was 14 and she decided at 14 that she's not living with us anymore, and she ran away from home. She went to community welfare, which is a child protection place similar to what you mentioned, and before that she decided that she would grow up and become friendly with a young lad. Now, all her teenage life I was concerned as to when is the right time to put her on the pill, and it all comes down to trust. You ask your daughter, are you sexually active yet? And they say no, but you might see indications that they're interested. So do you put them on the pill first? Does that then give them the permission or the free for all to have sex? Or do you wait till they've had sex and then maybe it's too late? That was my dilemma with my very first child. And always the first child is the hardest because you don't know what's right or wrong. You learn by your mistakes, whatever. Anyway, so she had stayed overnight with a friend and panicked and went to community welfare, and they gave her a pill that she needed to take 12 hours after the act, and again in the morning, to prevent any unwanted pregnancy. She also found out that because she was 14 she wasn't allowed to stay away from home. So this place actually returned her to me, telling me that she was away from home and giving me 3 months supply of the pill, or gave her 3 months supply of the pill and condoms. And that evening I had to set the alarm and wake up at midnight to make sure she took this tablet on time, and not letting my husband know anything because he would have went off the roof. But anyway, my main story is that after that she experienced a bit of life, and she felt that she could not live under our rules, and so she left again. And I was frantic looking for her, ringing up all her friends, trying to find out where she was, just to make sure she was safe. Unfortunately, she at one stage went again to the child protection people or community welfare, and indicated to them that my husband and I were giving her emotional abuse or physical abuse. So their duty or their job was for them to come out to us and check the house and whether it was a good environment to raise children, all that stuff. So when they did come out to see us, they found nothing wrong, and actually said to my daughter, we don't really think that you've been physically abused. There might have been some emotional abuse, but who's to say? The welfare didn't live with us. So anyway, they gave her a card, and they said, if at any time you feel that you're being abused either physically or emotionally in your parents' home, ring us. So there was one night where we told she wanted to go out, and we said, yes, you can go out, but you need to be home by 10:30 at night, and make sure you ring us, just out of concern. And you have to have rules for children. You've got to put guidelines. You have to teach them, like this woman tried to teach her son, teach them responsibility and protect them. Anyway, she came home late, and my husband yelled at her quite a bit. It upset her, and she was very mouthy to my husband. And she pulls out this card and she says, right, I'm going to phone community welfare now and report you and let them know that you're bad parents. And at that stage I lost my control, and I smacked her a few times, and I said, "Are you watching?" With every smack, I said, "Are you watching? This is abuse." And then I told her to go down the road and use a public phone to call the welfare. Some years later, or maybe even a year later or whatever, she did leave home. At 15 in Australia, you're allowed to leave home. She left home. She lived a few times with friends. Other times she was actually sleeping in the streets. She lived a terrible life. But she did things against the law. And there was one time where she got caught stealing underpants. And it's strange with the government, because at 14, yes, she has to live with me, but at 15, she's not under my control anymore. The government says she can do what she wants to do. But when she got caught thieving, the government wrote me a letter and said, "Please attend this court case because your daughter is now a thief and she's stolen things and we want to know what's going on." It is very frustrating as a parent, and I understand how this woman feels, but like I said before, you just have to love them and hope that they have learnt something from their younger life, the basics of living. I'm not with my family anymore. I left them about 7 years ago. My baby was 21. I had 5 children. But I went through so much pain with all the children that I could not live there anymore. I could not deal with it anymore. And what I really want to tell you, which is important, is that eventually my children had children, and my children now know what it's like to be a parent. And my children have actually said sorry to me for the pain that they gave me. I love my children, but I can't live with them or can't be near them, because when I see them going through pain, or when I see them suffering or making wrong mistakes, I interfere. And it is not right. They have to live their own life. And at some stage in your child's life, they become a human being. We give them life, but we don't own their life. The same as, just because we gave them life, doesn't mean that we have lost our lives. I really hope this helps. Unfortunately, once community welfare or parental control comes in, then the children under that, the next children, your second child might learn a few things from your first child, and it can become cyclic. I believe when I was young, there wasn't such a problem because there wasn't so much advertisement. The TV now advertises what children's rights are and what children can do. I remember before my children went wild, or before they sought help, there was a show on TV where a young man divorced his parents. And my eldest child said, "Well, I'm going to divorce you." And I said, "Well, yeah, feel free. I don't think you're going to get much out of us. We're poor. But divorce us if that's what you want." It's the media, it's the TV, the newspapers, the internet. There's too much information for children. I do believe that there is a need for the government or the Child Protection Act. I do believe that there are some bad parents and children that are violated and vulnerable and need help. But I don't think that they check thoroughly enough into the parents that are doing the right thing. And before you know it, they take control, and the children then realise that they've got other avenues, that they don't have to listen to mum, they don't have to listen to dad, that the government will protect us, and the children go wild. All I can say is, all you can do is let your children find out about life with you on the sidelines. Try and direct them, try and help them, but you have to now stand on the sidelines, because the more you push, the more you control, the more they retaliate, and eventually it's not healthy for you or your children. I really hope this has helped, and I hope I haven't been too long-winded. Thank you for the video. Yeah, it was good. It really made me think about things, and yeah, try to just love your children, love yourself, and live and learn from your mistakes and your children's mistakes. It will come back to you. The children will say thank you eventually when they have their children. Okay, thank you. Bye.